we did not know what was really happening because there was no way of communicating, and the only thing we had were the German newspapers and the radio, and of course that all was, the Germans were wonderful and everybody else was out to get them.
When were you able to get out? How old were you?
I was 16, I left in 1941. We landed in New York on Labor Day 1941, which probably was the 2nd of September, because Pearl Harbor was 7th of December. We were one of the last ships to come from Europe to the States before the war.
Where were your parents?
My father died in 1938, December 30th. My mother was sent to the camp in March of 1942.
Do you remember what camp?
Auschwitz.
And she never came back.
Well, not many people came back. When I was 18, I was drafted.
You were drafted to the Army?
I was drafted in the Army.
Into the Army.
Of course, you get an interview, they ask you all kinds of questions, there are all kinds of tests. So the interviewer told me, well, you've got a higher IQ than I have, you'll go to school. Next morning, I was on a troop train to Georgia. And had 17 weeks of basic infantry training. And I was attached to CIC in the very territory where I used to live. So I rounded up all the soldiers who had been released that didn't have discharge paper. I sent them to a POW camp. Then I took the mayor in my Jeep and took him for a ride. And he didn't expect to come back alive. And I asked him about my mother. So he said he was told to send her and also my uncle to Darmstadt, a collection point. And of course I had a pistol. I could have killed him. The war was still on, so nobody would have said anything.
Did he know it was you?
Of course.
Why didn't you kill him?
Because I didn't feel it was right for me to do so. I mean, what have I accomplished if I kill him? I only feel guilt, and I have no direct knowledge that he did any physical harm to anybody. I mean, you don't shoot people for no matter what the circumstances are. I went back with 3 of our children in 2000, back to Europe, back to my hometown. It was liberating in the sense that I felt comfortable, which I didn't know I would, because the previous times I had gone back I wasn't comfortable. We went to the city hall where they gave us books and coffee and cookies and that sort of thing. On Saturday we went to the synagogue in Darmstadt, and I had been there in 1938 when it was burned. So that was a very emotional experience for me. When we talked to classes, and I've had a couple of children ask me if I feel guilty, because I'm here and the others are not. So I tell them, yes, I feel guilty because so many did not survive. So many went through hell, even if they survived. But perhaps I was spared in order to talk to you today and to tell you what has happened. So I feel that might be the reason I survived. God has not interfered the way I see it. And we live a long life. Some people, some families have all the difficulties you can imagine. Others, everything is right, so there's no way to figure it out. I've been fortunate, I must say, that I've had a charmed life, that I wasn't married. Many narrow escapes, and I'm still here.